Breakdown is presented by John's Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow.
Same results for your New England Patriots now, 2-10. Welcome into the Breakdown. Ted Johnson, Phil Perry here. Ted, what'd you make of their 12th game this season? It just seems as though this offense continues to find new depths every single week.
Believe it or not, after seeing what I've seen all season long, like the rest of you have, I thought there was a silver lining in him playing in Zappe. I thought they would be really competitive and actually maybe win this game. Boy, was I wrong. I can't believe how inept that offense was, considering they got a new quarterback in there that I thought would give them a little bit bigger bump than what he did.
How did we get here? 12
How much time do you have?
points per game so far in 2023 for the New England Patriots. ESPN's Mike Reese in the postgame last night, he tried to ascertain that information from Bill Belichick. Here's how that exchange went.
Bill, how surprised are you at the lack of production from the offense?
I don't know.
What do you identify as maybe some of the missteps, that have contributed to the offense not producing this season?
Yeah, I just answered that question, Mike.
I guess I'm trying to figure.
Well, this isn't a season review. We're talking about the game. Game was just over. Happy to talk about the game. I made my comments on it. I'm not going to get into a full season review if that's what you're asking. No.
I think the reason I was asking is it's just hard to fathom how the offense has dipped from where we saw it at the end of last year, and this is the way we communicate with you to fans who are curious the same question.
Yeah, I just told you what I thought about the game. We moved the ball, didn't make enough plays to score, got in the scoring range, and weren't able to convert those into points.
Ted, Bill Belichick's reaction to those questions tells you what?
That he's not going to hold himself accountable. He doesn't want anybody talking about the reason how they got here, and the reason is himself, and that's where he's at. And so he knows that he's the story. That's why he doesn't want to go there, Phil, because all roads lead back to Bill Belichick when it comes to things on his team.
Well, you can understand why he was a little bit grumpy. The Chargers entered the game allowing 23.5 points per game, but the Patriots posted a goose egg and averaged a measly 4.1 yards per play. Both those numbers might have gotten some help if it hadn't been for 3 dropped passes, one of which we're taking a close look at with our first breakdown of the night. It's time now for Board Games, brought to you by John's Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow. Ted, a handful of drops from this Patriots offense. The one we're going to break down here was the one that garnered the most attention on Sunday afternoon at Gillette Stadium. You've got "We Dare You" written at the top of the board, and I need to find out why.
Yeah, so Phil, this was a critical play in the game. This was Tyquan Thornton had his guy beat deep on this play, and he wasn't able to come up with it. But I just want to kind of go through this play. This was a play late in the third quarter. Patriots are down 6-0. They got to get something going. They started throwing the ball deep more in the second half. And I tell you what, I thought Bailey Zappe did a good job of throwing catchable balls on a lot of the deep routes. And here's certainly one of them. He doesn't come up with a catch. But let's just walk people through this play, what Bailey saw on this play, and what should have happened, okay? So the Chargers are playing cover 1, single high safety, rushing 5, covering with 5, okay? That's what cover 1 is. So here's what they do. They rush these 5 guys right here, okay? 5 guys rushing. They drop this linebacker here. This linebacker comes over for coverage, and then these guys are covering these 3, and you have Dean Leonard, number 33, out here one-on-one on the X receiver, Tyquan Thornton, okay? And Phil, quickly, if I was to ask you, what are some of the traits that X wide receiver usually has? What are some of those traits?
Size, speed, could get off of press coverage, run pretty much any route.
Run pretty much. Okay, that's everything except Tyquan Thornton, who was playing the X on this play, okay? 2 key things that you need to know if you're Bailey Zappe on this is, where is the safety? The safety, before the snap of the ball, he was cheating over like he was going to favor this side, and then you see him late favor this side. Why? Because there's 3 receiving threats possibly on this side. Trips right is going to pull the attention of the safety, and they're also daring you to throw to Tyquan Thornton, is really out of place playing X receiver, and we know can run fast, but not the best receiver, okay? So here's what happens on the play. It's a max protect play. They keep 8 guys in. They only put 2 guys out in the route. Devontae Parker over here and Tyquan. They do a play action fake here with Zeke, okay? And I will say Bailey had decent protection on this play, but the read was so simple and already predetermined because of where the safety was before the snap. He started cheating over here. He sees all this space, and he sees press coverage. So it's not only that the safety is being pulled towards the trip sides, he's seeing press coverage. Are you kidding me? No safety help, and this guy is up on this guy's. You got to take advantage of that. And he did. At the snap of the ball, he gets right on by this defender. He's got 2 steps on him. It's an easy read for the quarterback. He throws a great ball. He could have maybe thrown it a little bit sooner, but nonetheless, still a nice deep ball to Tyquan Thornton, and it went right through his hands. They called up the perfect play. They schemed it right. They didn't have really the best player out there, and even then, that's no excuse for a guy, who's a second-round draft pick in his second year, not coming up with that play. That would have been a huge play. Obviously, maybe the difference in winning and losing.
Patriots see a ton of cover one because opposing defenses, Ted, they want to play the run when they play New England. That should mean space to operate in the deep part of the field for these receivers. They could not take advantage there. To Tyquan Thornton's credit, he did take some blame on this play. Let's hear what he had to say after the game.
Yeah, definitely frustrating, man. I wish I could get that one back, just to make that play for our offense. I feel like we really needed that. I got to do better on my job just to make that routine play.
How close were you on that?
Very close, so, hopefully next time I get that, I'll make that play.
There was some times where, I need to throw a better ball, like the deep one to Tyquan. I need to throw it better. I let it too far. And, maybe if I throw it, 6 inches shorter, that's a touchdown. He's catching and running it. So we just got to keep grinding. Those guys are doing phenomenal. I just got to get them the ball.
It's time for my report card. The report card is, of course, presented by the Massachusetts School of Law. You heard both Tyquan Thornton and Bailey Zappe take responsibility for not connecting on what could have been a game-changing play for the Patriots. And I gave out C-minuses to both Zappe and the receivers for their performance on Sunday. So it's time for Teddy J to play the role of tiebreaker for us. Ted, when you're looking at this game, Week 13, big picture, who do you look at more closely? Is it the quarterback or the receivers who are to blame?
You know what, Phil? I'm going to put it on the receivers. The receivers have they have the experience. They have their veterans in that room. Those are the guys making all the money. Bailey Zappe in his second year, there was a lot of drops. And Bailey Zappe threw 5 passes that were 25 or yards more that I thought were catchable passes. Only 1 was completed. So that means 4 of those other 5 pass attempts from Bailey Zappe could have been caught because all those balls hit the receivers in their hands, and none of them could come up with it, and they couldn't come down, either catch it or come down with it inbounds.
It wasn't all bad for Bailey Zappe, despite the fact that the Patriots offense did not score a point and did not even get into the red zone, but it wasn't all bad. The deep ball throwing was there, and with our technique, we're going to talk about Bailey Zappe's pocket mobility technique, of course, presented by Shaw's. Shaw's is perfecting the art of fresh. Ted Johnson, you're going to be Bailey Zappe here. I'm going to be Khalil Mack, and you're going to show us what you liked about the calm that Zappe displayed in the pocket on Sunday.
Yeah, so, look, he was sacked 5 times, so he was under pressure. But if you saw just the speed of his body, his mannerisms, the way he moved in the pocket, it was a little bit more free-flowing, and I just thought not as herky-jerky as what we have been seeing in there with Mac Jones. But we're going to show you a couple plays from the game that I thought Bailey Zappe did a good job of evading the rush, getting out in the pocket, and getting something with his feet. Look, Bailey Zappe had 3 carries for 14 yards. 2 of those carries became first downs. If you give me a quarterback that can average 1.5 to 2 rushing first downs every game, I'll take it. It just keeps the defense off balance, okay? So here we go. Let's just show you the first play. Khalil Mack was a force all day. They had to know where he was, and the quarterback, trust me, he knew on every play where Mack was because he's going to anticipate pressure from that side. So on this play in the game, Khalil Mack was on the left side. All right, Phil, let's just show him how it went here. And he was a monster running around the edges, doing up and unders, but really he went after the tackles on the edges most of the game. And this is what happened on one of the plays. Okay, set, hut. All right, Bailey Zappe drops back in immediately. He feels something out wide right here. He can feel the pressure, so he does a nice job of just stepping up calmly with both hands over the ball, not kind of leaving it out here, not freaking out, just stepping up in the pocket, and then not finding anything at this point, and then moving up a little bit over here, and he starts to feel Khalil Mack coming around like the figure 8 drill that they do at training camp. That's what a pass rusher is doing. That's what Khalil Mack is doing. And once he starts feeling, look, Here comes Khalil Mack. He doesn't find an option here at the kind of this third stage in this play. He says, I got to just tuck it and run. And he ran for 5 yards. It was on first down. So now he's got 2nd and 5 as opposed to 2nd and 15 by being sacked. So that was a good example right there. Another example, you'll see this. You guys probably remember this play. Bailey Zappe drops back to pass. All right, he doesn't see anybody. He starts to feel pressure from this side, on this side. And then all of a sudden, the secondary defender, who Phil Perry is going to be on this play, he starts coming out towards Bailey Zappe, who's starting to flush into the flat. Bailey's looking for something. And here's the thing. The first down marker is about 3 yards towards the sideline right there. Bailey Zappe knows if he just tucks it and runs, that defender is a hell of a lot faster than him, is going to meet him there. So what does he do? As he starts running, he does a little pump fake. The defensive guy, he leaves his feet. You're taught not to do that. And that gives him enough time to just kind of go, whoop, pull the ball down, run for the first down. He got 2 first downs, rushing the ball. I love that feel. It gives you just a defense, a little bit of something to think about. There wasn't the cat on a hot tin roof back there, which we've been seeing. It was more smooth, and I thought that was an improvement from what we'd seen at that position.
And when you combine that, some of that pocket cool with some of the downfield accuracy that you mentioned, which I thought we saw in the second half in particular, maybe you get a few more points on Thursday night against the Steelers. We'll have to wait and see. But he certainly deserves another start. I think we all could agree on that. The Celtics visit the Pacers in the quarterfinals of the in-season tournament tonight. Our coverage starts at 6:30 with Celtics pregame live. It's presented by TD Bank. And remember, you can stream the game on the NBC Sports app and NBCSportsBoston.com. The Boston Celtics live stream is presented by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience that thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com. Up next, we told you about Bailey Zappe's pretty good pocket presence, but the quarterback didn't always handle pressure well on Sunday. We're taking a deeper dive on the Patriots' passing game when the breakdown returns.
What's the line in a game like today where points are at a premium between extending plays and taking sacks on that second drive? You guys are at the Chargers 28, maybe field goal range. You take a sack on 3rd down, then a sack on 4th down. You know, what's the line there between trying to extend the play and in a game like that saying, I can't take a sack here?
Yeah, that's totally on me. Like you said, I mean, I got to understand where we're at on the field. I have to understand that we have points, and I have to understand when, plays, it's done. There's nobody open. I just got to throw the ball away. And, I just try to do too much, and that's on me.
There's Bailey Zappe talking about the need to avoid negative plays. That's all the Patriots seemed to have anytime they got into field goal range, which wasn't often on Sunday. Twice in the second half, they had promising drives and with back-to-back sacks. And for more on the sack that might have been the nail in the coffin for the Patriots on Sunday, let's head back to the drawing board. We're back out here for Board Games, brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning. The name to know when the drains don't flow. Ted, the Patriots allow a back-breaking 4th down, 4th quarter sack. We're going to break that down here. Hide and go Zeke is written at the top of the board. I think the people probably know where our focus is going to be for this one.
It'll ultimately get to Zeke Elliott, of course, Phil, but we got some few things to talk about before we get to that part of this play. So obviously a critical play in the game, 4th and 5, got to have it kind of thing. All right, and so this is what the Patriots do. They come out by 2x2, quarterback in shotgun. And this was interesting. If you watch this play before the play snap, you will see Bailey Zappe, Zeke Elliott. They will be pointing out to the linebackers, getting the protection set, all right? So it was a slide right. They saw Derwin James, who's a phenomenal safety for the Chargers, cheating up over here. You actually see in the film Tyquan Thornton pointing to Derwin James to alert the quarterback, watch him maybe possibly blitzing off the edge, okay? And that's ultimately what happened. So they did an overload blitz to the right side, the LA Chargers did. This linebacker comes up here, and at the snap of the ball, they go hard, they slant, except for this outside linebacker right here. So what are the Patriots? Let's just show the protection. So it's a slide right, and they all declare who the mic was. Before the snap, everybody's pointing to the mic, okay? Derwin James, he comes up here, and he kind of hides him right behind the linebacker, all right? Right behind the linebacker. So just think about that as we go into the other parts of the play. Real quick, before we get to this part of the play, I just want to say on this side, to the play side, Bailey Zappe always was looking to the right side. He never looked to the hot side. This is a hot receiver when you have an overload blitz. He never put his eyes that way, which is interesting. So he already had a predetermined kind of idea. I want to go to Hunter Henry on this side, where they tried to get a rub route between these two defenders. And Juju Smith-Schuster could not rub this guy well enough to discourage Bailey from throwing out there. And so this guy covered Hunter Henry on this rub route. He doesn't go there. And by the time he gets his head around, this is the blitz that's happening. So linebackers come up in here. They slant. This linebacker, instead of slanting, he kind of just bull rushes this tackle, okay? And then you see him take a couple steps like a bull rush, and then he jumps out to do contain. Derwin James hides behind this linebacker, and Zeke thinks he's going to pop out because they've been blitzing him off the edge all game long, Phil. But on this particular play, they faked like he was going to go outside. This linebacker faked like he was going to go inside. In the last second, he goes up, and you see Derwin James kind of come up and then under and go right to the quarterback. Here was the problem. Zeke anticipated him going outside, and so he jumped out to the outside, opening up this big lane for Derwin James to go in there and make the sack. A lot involved in that play, but the overall blitz, they should have blocked that better because they identified the blitzer right before the snap, and clearly the quarterback didn't follow through and go to that side.
Ted, in 2023 for the Patriots offense, if it's not one thing, it's another. If the receiver's not dropping a pass, if the offensive line isn't allowing pressure on the quarterback, maybe it's the running back who blows his assignment in pass protection. That's what happened to Zeke Elliott right there. The Patriots didn't just struggle in pass protection. They also struggled in the traditional run game. We talked earlier about Bailey Zappe scrambling. The Tyquan Thornton 39-yard end-around run, that was all well and good. But on handoffs to running backs, the Patriots averaged just 3.4 yards per carry, which brings us to our next technique, which was presented by Shaw's, perfecting the art of fresh. Ted, you want to talk about the run game. Again, the numbers there, especially based on the last few weeks where it felt like if they wanted to run downhill, they could run downhill whenever they wanted, even if it didn't lead to big point totals. But you saw something break down in that downhill run game on Sunday. What was it?
Yeah, it was, so the Patriots were effective running indirect runs to the right and to the left. Indirect runs, right and left, okay, for most of the game. But what was happening is they were getting trouble on certain situations, 3rd and 2, 3rd and short situations. When they would continue to go to that well, the defense made adjustments and made some tackles for loss or big plays in the backfield and kind of caught the Patriots off guard. So I just want to show you what it looks like from the offensive standpoint. With the Patriots offense, we're guards. We're going to be offensive linemen. We're guards, all right? And we're going to do indirect run to the left field. Ready, set, hike, boom. And all they do is take one step and then drive the guy down. Indirect run to the right field. Set, hike, boom. And then they drive the guy down, and that's kind of what it looks like, all right? So this is what was happening in the game, okay? So the defensive lineman for the Chargers, let's just do a regular and show people.
Let's go, big fella.
Here we go. Set, hike, direct run, and then he just runs me all the way down, and that's what the Patriots offensive linemen were doing, driving those guys out there. But on occasion, what these linemen would do, and this was what was happening in the game, and the play I want to highlight, is at the snap of the ball, say, hike, they jab step in, and then go back doors and make the play in the backfield. It's J.J. Watt type of play. You see Hutchinson make that play, T.J. Watt. What happens is these down linemen, they get tired of getting beat on and pushed down, and so they make jab steps to get the offensive lineman's weight to shift this way, and then swim them, and then redirect, go back door, and make the play in the backfield. They were doing that all game long. The Patriots offensive linemen got to protect themselves against that movement and that stunt from teams going forward.
2 3rd and short situations yesterday. Patriots allowed tackles for loss on both of those killing drives. They have to figure out how to get this run game going if they're going to be productive at all offensively. Tom Carn's going to be talking about the Patriots offense later this week, Tuesday, 6 o'clock. I'm out of breath. Tune in for Quick Slants. Tom Carn shares his takes on the Patriots as they get ready to visit the Steelers. It's presented by your local New England Honda dealers. Still to come, the Patriots offense, they have some work to do. But their defense isn't half bad. We're breaking out the Monday Night Spotlight when the breakdown returns. Give me oxygen! Get this, the Patriots are the 34th team in the last decade to allow 26 points or less over a 3-game stretch. That's the good news. The bad news, 30 of those teams went 3-0. 3 went 2-1. But as you all know by now, the Patriots are winless in the last 3. So is that weighing on a defense that continues to do its job?
Like I said, I'm proud of the guys on defense, Is it good enough? I believe so, but it's not our standard.
The standard is high, From a man to a man, we know what we got to do.
play for the man next to you. We don't ask for too much but your best. You know, we just got to do more. You know, we got to get some more takeaways. We got to start scoring on defense. So, you know, we're going to find ways to rectify, you know, this situation and make it right. But right now, we're just not doing enough.
My goodness, Ted. Monday Night Spotlight is presented by TouchView Interactive Display Panels, available at the Oakers Company. You heard Jabril Peppers say it there. Jalen Mills said it as well. We have to start scoring on defense. That should never be the case at the NFL level in order for a team to win games, that it needs points from its defense. But that's how these guys feel right now. How frustrated do you think the players are on the defensive side?
Look, they're frustrated, but I think they need to tone it down a little bit too. I think we need to pump the brakes a little bit. Look, you're talking about they need to score points. You know what? This defense did score points for this team last year. I mean, they used to turn the ball over all the time last year. They used to get sacked the quarterback all the time last year. They didn't have a turnover yesterday or a sack. I think the defense is getting a little bit too ahead of itself. Look, the last 3 weeks, the team they've played, cupcakes. Phil, are you kidding me? The Colts offense is terrible. The Giants offense is terrible. And that Chargers offense is, right? It's not even what it used to be, and it was in a monsoon. So I think the defense is over its skis a little bit. And you know what? If they're mad at anybody in the defense, be mad at the people putting the players out there on the field, because the players on offense are doing the best with what God gave them.
They might be able to keep their opposition out of the end zone for another game this coming week, Thursday night, because they're about to see Mitch Trubisky and the Steelers. Unbelievable matchup there. Hopefully we get a few more points. Either way, we'll be right back here on Monday to break it down.